Daredevil was born again when Daredevil Born Again Season 1 graced our screens. While that was a fun ride, all signs are now pointing toward Season 2, starting off with a trailer. We open with a record player beginning the tune that sets the stage of the trailer and directs our signs to a prominent return for Karen Page. Karen was a sort of on-again, off-again presence in the first season of the reboot, but it looks like she'll be around more, considering the happy smile she and Matt share. As we cut from Karen's presence to Matt's smile while relaxing in a bed, all signs point to the fact that maybe Karen and Matt will rekindle that lost spark. He was looking for her when he woke in that hospital bed in Season 1 after all. We get a nice over-the-city shot of New York, followed immediately by someone walking into a diner. From a side profile, it's possibly Poindexter or Bullseye. Then a follow-up is that of a nice milkshake with whipped cream. Looks to be a vanilla milkshake. My favorite. Of course, that's when we learn almost certainly that the man in question is Bullseye, but it's a trailer, so who knows if the scenes are the same. He seems to feel accomplished. We cut to the task force and old folks sharing some nice laughs, some children hula hooping in the crowd. The entire premise seems to be that the task force makes the people feel safe. The people don't really know what they get up to behind the scenes, while a poster of Mayor Wilson Fisk is adorned in the background. More advanced vigilante task force hamming it up with the citizens are shown as the poster of Fisk is shown in the background. Perhaps the slogan is something like "Making New York Safe." Fisk seems to be really hammering home that he is the person fit to protect New York. All their safety rests with the Kingpin. A nice scene is shown next as Matt and Karen share an embraceful slow dance, nearly kissing as it indicates their romance is slowly being returned to prominence as speculated. Though I'm not sure who hesitates, it looks like someone backs out. Matt did speculate that Karen has feelings for the Punisher. That could ring true. The following shot shows Vanessa Fisk in a red gown, possibly at another mayoral event or something of importance. She's laughing. A quick cut shows toast being had with Mayor Fisk. He clearly seems to feel in charge, and if last season's ending was indicative of anything, he had New York in an iron grasp. Then, in the following scene, Matt is overcome with what seems to be a deafening blast of sound. Perhaps someone found out Daredevil's heightened senses, such as his intense hearing, though that could just be purely sound cue based from the trailer's choices, but still, it seems like it could be something specifically meant to hurt Matt. Maybe the vigilante task force has gotten creative. The following scene, and one I'm personally excited to see, is someone in a white suit and Wilson Fisk mask monitoring themselves as Mayor Kingpin. If you've ever seen something like the Guy Fawkes mask adorned anonymous group videos or Max Headroom, it gives very similar vibes, as though both of those concepts fuse together. Maybe BB has decided a less visible approach, but still on the offense media-wise is the way to go. I could see her playing that sort of role to try and stir up dissent against Fisk. Whatever the case, it's clear someone is trying to oust and expose the Kingpin. A nice parallel is the scene takes the chance to flash to a jovial and laughing Mayor Wilson Fisk. Then back to the Max Headroom Mayor Kingpin and a blink or you'll miss it shot of the real white-suited Wilson Fisk. Following up on that is a cruising armored vehicle that could belong to any number of people as it barrels down cars. Well, it seems armed men fire at the armored vehicle. This looks to me, it'll go out on a limb, it looks to me like either it'll serve as a big character debut or a big character return. Someone's in the large armored vehicle, and I think that someone is who pops up in the very next scene of the trailer. Quentin Tarantino won't like this next scene, but I sure do, as we get our first look at Mr. Charles, played by the wonderful actor Matthew Lillard. Not much is known about Mr. Charles except that he is going to be a big opposition for the Kingpin. I'll give a little speculation and assume maybe he's someone sent in by the government. It's not entirely unlikely that someone's bound to notice Kingpin in charge of New York. Alternatively, he could just be intimidating and ruthless as a boss character in charge of his own faction. Either is possible. A sign is put up next that Matthew Murdock is missing. This explains Matt's personal life outside of Daredevil and where we will find it. he's simply come up as a missing persons case. Could it be his scorned love of season 1 searching for him, or could it be Mayor Fisk hoping for someone to spot Daredevil? With Matthew missing, that leaves stuff like his law firm and his home up in the air. Sacrificing his civilian life to try and do the right thing seems to be what he's going for here. We get a return to form, as the next scene is that of a teeth-gritting Matt Murdock who seems to have been in a struggle over something or another, except this time he won't be enduring things alone. The following shot shows a door swing open as boots make their way on in, as Kristen Ritter's Jessica Jones makes her triumphant return to the small screen. Jessica is back, not seen since her own show, and Defenders came to their untimely end. She's come to join Daredevil's resistance fighters with a fun quote of, "I hope you can walk because I'm not carrying you." It looks like they may be having this conversation in a church, but a lot of the interior shots are so dark that it's hard to see clearly, which gets an immediate glance from Matt. Their dynamic in the previous shows was always a fairly positive one to watch. Kristen Ritter and Charlie Cox have a lot of fun chemistry, and her return opens the doors for the likes of Luke Cage and Iron Fist to come back as well. Will it be this season? Who knows, but it's an exciting thought. Aggression returns in the next scene as Daredevil launches one of his billy clubs. Now, I don't think I'm mistaken when I say it looks as though that's Daredevil's black and red suit from the set leaks that he's wearing when he goes on the offense, but he does strike an AVTF member square in the face, and that is awesome. A return of the amazing Daredevil fight choreography is always welcomed. I especially loved the Muse fight in the train station from season 1, so more stuff like that is always welcomed. Next is a blink and you'll miss it, glance at a bloodied bullseye, which means he's still getting in on the fun of everything. Though I would like to point out, with how everything has resolved, whose side is Poindexter on? He is an entirely on good terms with OL Mayor Wilson Fisk, and we know his history with our favorite Devil of Hell's Kitchen. Daredevil takes someone's hand in the next scene. Now trailer magic makes you think it's Bullseye's, but there's always the chance it's someone else's. That's just the way trailers tend to work. Misdirection is everything. Next up, Karen and Daredevil march down a corridor to an unspecified location as we cut to armed thugs sieging a house. The improved and returned to form Wilson Fisk is shown next, adorned in his white suit, speaking to right-hand man Daniel. Though Daniel seems to look less than enthused, their dynamic in season 1 was everything, as Daniel seemed to idolize what Fisk could do, and specifically what he could do for him, though eventually everyone realizes when they've bitten off more than they can chew. We get our first hint at a Jessica Jones fight scene, as we can spot her hitting an armed AVTF guard with a door, sending him flying while she looks awesome doing it. Her costume is very simple, as it's just jeans and a black leather jacket, black gloves, and shirt. Simplicity goes a long way though. A little levity is shown in the next scene as Daniel and Buck are now seen looking down at what's implied to be a body. A dead or alive one isn't clear, but what Buck does make clear is they're going to bury the aforementioned body. While elsewhere, Fisk's holdup at Red Hook seemingly begins to blow up before his very eyes. Everything he did resolved around Red Hook, and our first shot of it possibly beginning to tumble is very important for where this season could go. Daredevil's trying to win after all. Maybe he set off the explosive, or maybe someone else has. Wilson, though, seems to be getting into boxing, as the next scene shows the Kingpin gloved up and in the ring. Maybe this is how the mayor tries to let up some pent-up aggression. Mixed in are more scenes such as Bullseye winking at someone off screen, and a child once more enjoying her day out, while we quickly clash back to Fisk's makeshift prison, which I assume will he in full force. The MCU could use some characters being locked up in said prison to really make the world full. I know Jessica's coming back, as is the rest of Matt Murdock's band of friends. I'll be honest though, really it feels like Wilson Fisk in charge of New York should be a bigger deal. Maybe Spider-Man will touch base on it a little, I don't know. We see next who I believe is Heather, Matt Scorn's Season 1 love interest who has taken up position under Wilson Fisk. Then we go to rioting in the streets. Clearly some folks begin to see that something is right under Mayor Kingpin and are beginning to do something about it, while Kingpin's boxing match seems to take a bloody spin as the very next scene is him literally knocking the blood out of a guy's mouth. A nice emphasis on his violence more than anything, to juxtapose the following scene of his task force high-fiving again, making themselves look good and clean to the people of New York. We get another cute scene between Matt and Karen as they seem to be sparring a little together, getting Matt back up to form for his inevitable confrontation with Kingpin. Though nothing will beat the quick glance at the next scene of this trailer, Foggy. Foggy Nelson makes his return to the show after being axed off at the start of the previous season. More likely than not, it's in a flashback role as he's clean shaven and his hair's a bit longer, a la the original Daredevil run from Netflix. Yes, I know, there's always the chance he did the fake death thing like the comics, but that would cheapen up Matt's arc from the first season. Let's be real, folks. More shots of combat as Daredevil launches his billy club at more task force members in the dark is what immediately follows. A lot of this just shows that there's a lot more action in this season. Daredevil sliding by as guns blaze at him. By the end though, we get what could be a chilling scene if you interpret it that way. Matt smiling. Maybe the devil revels in the violence. In the end, we're left to wonder how all the pieces fit together and if Matt and co will fight more than just the task force. While I'm really excited to see what Matthew Lillard's Mr. Charles is all about, like the video, click above to watch more.